We have wrapped up our morning of media previews at the Toronto Motorcycle Show. It went by very quickly. We saw lots of new motorcycles, we interviewed people, we saw what's going on. What are your thoughts on the Toronto Motorcycle Show at the Energuide Centre, Mark?
Well, you know, we've also seen lots of old motorcycles too. We're here in the Clutch Society exhibit.
We are.
And they got some really cool bikes that have been modified and customized. And, you know, you kind of know what to expect when you come in a motorcycle show with new bikes because you've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
Even so, that Pan America, that Bronx, the two Harley Davidsons that we hadn't seen before.
For sure.
They look quite different in person when you're actually, although they wouldn't let us sit on them, right?
They wouldn't know. They're pre-production models, so they didn't want us sitting on them because, you know, we might break them.
They wouldn't even let the boss of Harley Davidson Canada sit on it.
It's true. So
Wow.
if he can't, then nobody can.
Oh,
but
well.
anyways, it was neat to see them in the flesh or in the metal.
In the something.
And a huge departure from Harley Davidson. Hopefully they bring new people into Harley Davidson showrooms.
Hopefully for Harley Davidson, anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you thought you would see here that you didn't?
I thought I would see more smaller bikes, to be honest with you, more entry-level bikes.
Yeah.
There've been a whole load of hot bikes, big bikes. I mean, that Triumph Rocket 3, 2,500 cc's or whatever
enormous.
that sucker is, it's massive.
That's the size of the displacement of most cars'
Yeah.
engines these days. That's enormous.
And I'm just concerned for the future of motorcycling
Yeah.
that it's more and more expensive these days, especially here in Ontario, to insure motorcycles. We need to have entry-level bikes.
Definitely.
So I was happy to see that Yamaha, the MT-03.
Definitely.
That's the naked version of the R3, kind of, you know. But it's
Essentially.
$6,000.
Definitely.
It's a smaller bike. It's affordable.
That's what we're going to need to get people into motorcycling as well. We talked with Kawasaki about some of their sport bikes, about having them off the street, about having them on the track where you can actually
Right.
use a motorcycle like that.
Right?
So they're going to have to attract people to different areas of the industry. There's lots of adventure bikes here too, because that's really one of the biggest growing segments of the industry right now.
And you know, adventure bikes you can use anywhere, anytime. You can practically ride them through the winter in Canada, right?
Definitely.
They don't have to be kept clean. The trouble with something like a Kawasaki Ninja 1000 or a Yamaha R1 is that it's useful on the track, and that then becomes a rich man's toy.
For sure.
Rich person's toy, I should
person's
say.
toy.
Actually, there's a lot of women here. Have you noticed that?
There are. I have noticed,
It's a very
actually.
diverse day.
There are plenty of women here. There are lots of kids here because they're not in school. It's great to
Right.
see that it's so well attended that literally they opened the gates and people flooded in. That's great to see. It was great to see a lot of manufacturers spending money and showing people the new motorcycles that they have on display. So that's great to see on both sides, that people are interested in buying motorcycles and the manufacturers are showing off all their bikes.
Well, I was really impressed that I thought that I was just going to see a whole bunch of old, fat, bald guys here. And we do have some bald guys.
It's true.
And we do have some fat
old
guys
yeah.
and some sort of more senior guys,
Yeah.
more mature, as it were.
Yeah.
But there's a real diversity behind the people who are interested in motorcycling these
Definitely.
days. So I'm really hopeful for the future now.
That's great. And particularly in the Clutch Society, the whole reason why this is here is to build the community and the camaraderie
Always
of people who are
fresh.
into motorcycles. We have artwork, we have custom motorcycles, we have clothing, we have the Toronto Motorcycle Film Festival, and so there's lots to see and do here. There's coffee, Collective Arts beer is here, so there's lots of reasons to come down to the Toronto Motorcycle Show.
You can almost forget that it's -10 outside.
It's true.
Almost.
Almost. All right. Well, anyways, so thank you for joining us for the Toronto Motorcycle Show 2020. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.